I'm hearing the word epic, like you're sending out an epic signal. So just opening up, we have an astral travel message literally from last night at the time that I'm recording this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my notes and share with you what was coming through, because it's about a signal that you're sending out into the quantum field. I'm hearing that's being hopefully received. Actually, I'm seeing the quantum be actually very excited for this intention that you've cast out, because it feels like you're casting out almost like the netta symbol. If you know an Egyptian hieroglyphs, they have like this netta symbol, and it kind of looks like the shape. Okay, whatever the shape is, it's like the apex, and they cast this intention out into this invisible blueprint. It's known as the web of Indra, and it's this interconnected database that stores infinite expressions that are designed to assist you on your path. So that could be different spirit guides, celestial light helpers, things of that nature, archangels, whomever it is that you work with. That's a projection of your own subconscious mind encoded into your field, that's actually designed to assist you within this human journey while being immersed in this terrestrial plane. That becomes your bridge into remembering your own cosmic origins and also connecting with your own cosmic origins. Anyway, I'm seeing you like cast out this web of information, and then you're anchoring that back into your third dimensional experience, acting upon that. And that allows you to collapse through time. Okay, you're like collapsing time because you're leveraging as a quantum being, and you're utilizing your quantum technologies, which is your heart, right, to feel into this and understand that your intuition is guiding you towards your ultimate truth. Okay, and I'm hearing the return to your truth, the return to what it is that you've always been, which is the infinite field of creation that you are. And then you're also your third eye. Okay, so I'm seeing your human condition has lifted. You're looking at life on earth through the lens of the soul. You're remembering yourself as a light being, right? Okay, so epic was the word that came through for today. So let's go ahead and get an epic definition real quick, and then we're gonna continue. So epic is a large body of work that can be broken down into smaller tasks or user stories. An epic is a big feature or initiative. So there's something that you may feel inclined to actually initiate in your life. It talks about too large to complete in a single sprint. So it's broken down into multiple user stories, often aligned with business objectives or major capabilities. And I'm hearing major capabilities of the soul becoming very established within the experience of form, or creating, I'm hearing structures. It feels like a legacy energy, where legacy is not the things in which you just create in the system, but it's also the way in which your energetic signature continues to unfold long after the physical vessel transforms into another mechanism for you to move through. It's so interesting. It's like for example, your legacy is in the way in which you touch people. So maybe it's something that you teach or something that you say that continues to exist through another organism long after you depart from this experience. There's that type of energy that's coming through that feels incredibly like soul enriching, fulfilling for the journey. So it could be the impressions or ripples that you send through the earth that continue to ripple out long after your departure. Super interesting. Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. So an epic is a large body of work, okay, that can be broken down into smaller tasks or stories. So there's something that you're doing, and there's something in which you've already been experiencing to get to this point of remembrance, and now it's about what you're going to do as you've returned to the knowing that fear is an illusion. And if fear is not a factor in your life, what would you choose? Oh, this is actually getting serious, because it feels like a moment where there's a coming of age or something that you're going to do. It almost feels like you're being crowned, which in my tea leaf message deck, that talks about stepping into like a leadership role or visibility. It feels like you're here to have an impact, and the result of that impact or side effect of it is a level of recognition or eyes being on you. That's what it feels like. So key characteristics is delivering something and being able to span multiple sprints or containing multiple related user stories. I was not expecting that. Okay, so that's really interesting. So with the astral travel message, we have the first scene, which I saw as people that were basically crossing a sea, and they were picking up things for the people that were waiting on land, and they had requested the same thing that they had previously had because it was so nice and they wanted to experience it again. So this person was becoming a facilitator, and it was you who was actually standing on the sea and connecting with the people on the land. And I'm just going to read my notes to you guys because I want to make sure that I remember everything, and I tell you everything that happened. So everyone in line got rewarded with this thing that they had been desiring or intending to experience when it comes to their life on Earth. And what was super interesting is it was like Teotihuacan. If you know Teotihuacan, there is a lunar pyramid. And within that complex, there is this intricately designed system where there's like a stadium, and as you step upon that platform, you can actually speak to another person or another organism that is quite some distance away from you. And the words that you say actually echo out, and that the sound waves in which you cast out are actually received by that person, and they can also send it back to you. So this is some type of it's a really interesting system because it almost is designed as like an amphitheater. It's super cool. For example, I'll just give you an example in case like you haven't been there, you haven't seen. When you're there, you can give someone instructions that they're really far from you. Okay, something that they won't hear you whisper underneath your breath. It's like you say, take 2 steps back. That person from a distance, they'll take 2 steps back. Something that you usually have to like shout or scream for them to hear you. There's like an amplified signal within that very specific ley line of the world. Okay, so I'm seeing this as something that you've accessed within yourself. Anyway, I was being shown that scene in Teotihuacan. That's exactly what it looked like, where they were essentially speaking at a very specific angle, and that would become an amphitheater where the sound wave would travel into the distance and it would reach them standing at this like diagonal length. So I wrote that it's sound that can travel through the ether, like across the ether, and it can reach someone. So I feel like this is, I'm seeing ninth house energy they're showing me, something that's like reaching something on a global scale. All right, it's reaching people near and far. Maybe that's in across body of seas or waters, or philosophically. I'm also hearing it reaches specifically the soul. Okay, it's designed to transcend the linear mind or logical mind and speak directly to the soul. So I said it's a transmission, even if it's very subtle. It was received from very far away due to the environment and skills that the person had attained, something that wouldn't have been possible otherwise. And I'm seeing this as the environment that you've created for yourself, and you're basically a physical vessel that enriches the soul's experience, like the way that you honor the soul's experience. Now, this shows me that there's a vision that you're speaking into life, and that's being amplified during this time. The act of going across the sea can represent effort or devotion, or just the willingness to move beyond the familiar and retrieve something of value, whether that be knowledge, nourishment, or some type of frequency. And what is brought back is very physical. So this could be an intention that you're casting out into the quantum field, and that's coming back as like physical. I'm hearing rewards, opportunities, experiences, people, and it's of energetic substance because it's aligned and it's completely shattered. So it feels like a co-creation with the things in which you're co-creating with the physical realm as a soul. Now, the detail that everyone in line had gotten rewarded reveals that this isn't a reality of lack that we live in, but instead it's an abundant construct. And it's a field where alignment creates overflow. And alignment is not something that you seek externally, it's something that you return to you. So you've always been a highly abundant being, and you're just kind of, sweeping away of your third eye any kind of belief systems or constructs that have been adopted by societal conditioning or generational belief systems reinforced through eons that have distorted the way that not only you've seen yourself, but also all other beings have seen themselves. Okay, remembering yourself as a light being. So once something is in resonance, it begins to multiply, and no one is competing. Everyone had room to receive here in this regenerative construct of Teotihuacan, in the way where you're showing your voice, your intention, or your frequency with the world. And when it's placed at the right angle, like the right intention, and it's in alignment with what your soul intended to experience, then that frequency travels way farther than you think it would. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. It's like your voice or your message spreads like wildfire type of energy. And it doesn't mean that you have to be loud. It's not that you have to force it. It's just the right alignment. So I'm hearing that's the right opportunities finding you. That's the right people finding you. That's the right, I'm hearing soul family, tribe finding you. So don't compromise. Like, I'm hearing your message, your intention, or your integrity in that process. Because in that space, even a subtle transmission reaches those who it's meant to find. So that's something that someone needs to hear. And that's how energy moves through the ether, not through effort alone, but instead through this precision within your placement and environment. The message I get from that is that you're not struggling to be heard, but instead you're almost refining the space through which you're heard. So it reminds you of the saying of don't cast your powers before your swine type of energy, where you're not chasing the reward, but you're aligning with a field that reward ends up becoming inevitable for you. Okay, so it feels like some type of reinforcement from the field around you because you're maybe doing the things that you love, or you're falling back in love with yourself, or you're seeing how you need to redesign your life in order to fall in love when it comes to your life on earth. Okay, fall in love with your life or your experience on earth. And you're not disconnected from others, but you're just learning how to transmit across dimensions of space, emotion, and awareness. So everything that you're building right now is shaping the stage for how far your signal is going to be able to travel across. Right, before I read the second scene to you, I'm going to go ahead and pull a message on this. I want to get a shaman's dream alpha message and a pointer message. So joyful muse inspiration. Joyful muse essentially talks about seeing life through the lens of the soul. Okay, in a nutshell, it's seeing life through the lens of a child and really being able to step into that explorative system. Okay, seeing yourself as an explorer in that system. So it tells me that you're getting curious, or you're being called to get curious around how to position yourself. Okay, I'm hearing how to position yourself and be someone that stands strong within that position. And I'm seeing the position be your own energetic signature, like your own authenticity, and really being seated in that. Let's get a Cosmos Oracle message. I want to take a look at what that signal is. Okay, the signal that's being sent out is surface, right? So this card literally says that there's so much going on behind the surface, so much going on beyond what it is that you can see right now. Surface talks about going deeper, the outer extremity of the body, which limits and separates everything around it. External appearance without depth and understanding can be something that's shallow. So that could be, again, like being like, why am I not heard? Why do people not understand me, my message, or something that I'm creating? 1 second, guys. I need to actually plug in my microphone right now. So again, that's just like confirming this message right now, where it's like you don't need to speak louder. There's something about just refining your message, staying true to your message, and what needs to find you will. It's like you don't need direct contact to reach someone. The field is doing it for you. I'm kind of seeing like your presence also becomes the transmission too. Just bear with me, guys, but just bear witness to what's going on when it comes to this reconfiguration, because I'm trying to get you guys good, right? Okay. So the microphone also amplifies your signal, right? So testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear the difference? Right? So it's almost like you're refining your voice. There we go. And your entire vision is a reflection of your truth. Now, surface alludes to the superficiality of something, someone, without internalizing it. The outer layer of an onion of the earth of human beings. What is there beyond what is seen on the surface? This tells me that you're not a surface level type of individual. There is so much going on beneath you that you're sharing right now. And because of those depths that you've met yourself, only souls or opportunities or experiences that have that same level of depth and substance will find you on your path. Those are the type of experiences that you're calling in. Yeah, those are the type of experiences that you're calling in, which is super interesting. And I'm hearing because there is an appearance of that, there being less of that in the system, it can feel like that takes longer to find you. But really, it's just the alignment. Something around it all happens at the speed of alignment for you. Again, it's like you're not chasing a reward, but you're stepping into the frequency where that reward finding you is inevitable. That's what this is. This reward finding you is inevitable. Let's get one more message. Surface. So you're calling in something that's not surface level. All right. Let's continue with the second message and then we'll confirm everything. So the second message was a man that was swimming across this whole river and it had so many currents. And there were these powerful ones that could have like swept him off course, but they didn't. And you could literally see all the currents there. And he was like, okay, we're going to go through this. We're going to do it this way. And he had like this level of suave about him where he was just, he was able to position himself in a way that he would actually end up thriving in that environment and utilizing the power of the current as his own. And he knew how to work with the elements and thrive and how to be intentional with his direction, right? He had like a goal in mind and he was going to cross that river no matter what. So it's an embodiment of your mastery within this, I'm hearing season of motion. So these are things that you're doing, these are things that you're creating. And the river can represent like emotional and energetic external forces that constantly are in flux. Maybe when it comes to lives or timelines or other people's energy or collective waves. The key detail is not the strength of the currents because they didn't take him off course. It's that he didn't resist them. That's why they didn't take him off course. He understood the currents, he understood this system and how it's designed. So it tells me that when you stop trying to control what's on the surface, right? When you stop trying to control the environment, I'm going to get that to. Oh, that's a beautiful bird sound. Birds in my tea leaf message deck actually represent messengers, like news or information is on the way to you. So it's like when you stop trying to control the external environment and instead you begin to read it, you begin to feel it, you move with it with this level of intelligence. Okay, it's like the higher intelligence says, no, everything is exactly on the path as it's supposed to be. And that's a different kind of navigation style because it doesn't feel like this restraint. It doesn't even feel like obstacles. These currents become forms of information. Okay, I'm hearing they're informing you how to flow like water. Okay, how to adjust your field, how to recalibrate, and how to use the very force that could have pulled you away into something that actually ends up propelling you forward. This tells me that the force and the very force that felt like it would have destabilized you actually ends up becoming the theme event. I'm hearing the theme character, theme opportunity that ends up allowing you to further accelerate along your path, which is super interesting. And it's because you know how the elements work, you know what that energetic signature is designed to do for you. I'm hearing is how that's actually designed to become a boost for you. Like when someone gives you a boost or a helping hand, how it was designed to essentially elevate you and bring you back to yourself, which is super interesting. It's like the person wasn't rigid on their path. They were literally unwavering in their faith. They weren't forcing life into stillness. Instead, they were becoming so attuned that even the chaos felt navigatable. And that's what you're able to do during this time. So the currents that you're feeling here aren't here to stop you in any way, but instead they're here to teach you how to actually steer at a higher level, right? And there's a version of you that doesn't panic when it sees these things shift, right? The higher intelligence. There's a version of you that's untouched by time or the events that occur throughout your space-time travels. And that version reads the energy of a situation and then it just adjusts itself accordingly, right? It kind of acts accordingly. And that version of you is very, very active during this time. Oh, you have light curve. And then behind it, you have 528. So that's unconditional love. This is literally the version of self that doesn't ask, like, why are these currents happening in my life, right? Why are these things seemingly trying to pull me off course, or why is there resistance on this path? Instead, the alchemist says, well, how do I use these currents to my advantage? That's what that is. So light curve, 5 to 8 hertz. Light curve actually talks about a changeable wave. So these currents are changing, and not only the currents are changing, but you're changing, because the wave form collapses when it's observed. And I'm hearing when you step into the state of consciousness of becoming the observer of you, well, you as a light wave or a light curve also begins to collapse and behave very, very differently. Yeah, that's super interesting. Okay, it's like you are behaving very, very differently. Let me read Light Curve. Light Curve talks about a changeable wave and being called to embrace the changes and to love yourself through those changes. And I'm hearing those changes actually give you the opportunity to love yourself, no matter what current you are riding. The variation of brightness of an object over time. It talks about you cannot predict how the adventure will unfold, but to navigate the fluctuating waves, adapting to changes along the journey will be key to process. Versatility is key. So it's not to abandon from happening while the wave is changing. Know that hope should not be abandoned. So this is where your adaptability and your ability to change to changing circumstances, and I'm hearing actually respond to changing circumstances and those shifts that happen in your reality, instead of trying to force things to stay the same in your comfort zone or how they've always been, becomes your source of strength. Okay, that becomes your source of strength. Let's go ahead and get one Shaman's Dream Oracle message for that as well with the navigating changes. And I want to get a Gateway of the Light activation message to you. So Skywriting and the Fates. This is also a beautiful card because it talks about fated events that are actually designed, like each one of these currents, each one of these changes, each one of these shifts are designed to assist you. So it's written in the sky that you have a destiny. You're being invited to explore certain aspects of life unique to you and you alone. That does not mean that your path will be easy, paid with gold and littered with diamonds, nor does this predict that your journey will be treacherous. It's just your path with paths that cannot be changed and must be radically accepted as they are. In this way, whatever you're faced with, every single aspect of your life is perfect in its imperfection, not good or bad, neither in flow nor bloat, this nor that. See your life as a series of opportunities rather than an obstacle course, which is exactly what we spoke about when it comes to those currents that he was swimming through. He was able to utilize them as a series of opportunities to actually utilize that power and force of the river as his own. Once you master the skill of non-judgment, so it's like judgment is also compartmentalizing yourself from the wave. But when you understand that you are the wave and the one swimming through it, you become one with that motion. And you open to the power of curiosity, unencumbered by the burdens of yesterday's fears. As you look ahead into the potential of the future, yes, you still need to be brave. Right now, you're facing a critical moment in time with an opportunity to meet your fate, a choice point where you expand your influence and your capacity for abundance, love, and purposeful action. Now's the moment to leap into it, whether it be a heartfelt connection, a call to creativity, or a new identity in your work or another area of your life. With all of your heart and soul, your success is surely written in the stars. In order to bring your destiny to fruition, you must jump into the adventure with both feet and do your part. And that's exactly what he did at the beginning of it was like this like tunnel that he crawled through, and then he saw the series of opportunities or all the different currents of the course that he was about to swim through. He didn't hesitate in his ability to make it from point A to point B, even though he didn't know how the adventure was going to unfold. He was able to surrender to the present moment and utilize those changes as almost launch pads and as I'm hearing like initiation of discovery, to discover all it is that you are all it is that you are capable of when it comes to the infinite possibilities and navigating a realm that is constructed for you to discover what those infinite possibilities and timelines look like for you. All right, that was a really good message. I really like that part. Right, let me go ahead and get a gateway of the light activation message for you too. And it feels like something that we're closing out. Soul star activation. So fulfilling soul contracts and remembering who you are. So remembering that you are not just the body that's swimming through the waves, but the actual field itself. You are the actual body of water itself that's experiencing the body move through it and become one with the wave. So this is a very interesting card because it talks about your cosmic origins and your two biggest days, the one being seed onto this planet and the second one is when you remember your why. It's like you get to experience your why. There's a journey in which you're embarking on or that you're swimming through, right? Like swimming through the void and discovering that there is something that you're bringing to the surface. There's something within the depths, as we spoke about surface, something deeper that you're bringing into the world. If you look at light curve, that's the way that I see the journey. If you kind of place these two cards together and you had the light curves kind of seated in the middle of the surface, there's something that you've gone into yourself, discovered, and then you're bringing it back up to the world. And only things here will find you. That's what this is. I'm hearing these are the things that are designed to find you. But that's required for you to actually go through that journey of the human experience, but still return to your center and observe it as the neutral observer, experiencing it all, but also none of it simultaneously. How can you be the experiencer and the one observing, the one experiencing simultaneously? That's what Soul Star is. It's connecting with your intentions before incarnation, which is remembering yourself in the middle of the experience, remembering yourself as you navigate the illusion, because the illusion is that the wave was separate from you, or that you're separate from the very field that you're swimming through. So I hope they enjoyed that message. I had a lot of fun during that one. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you have summoned this message into your reality, or this message has found you in your reality, do consider subscribing because we'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Otter Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade jewelry. 1/3 of the proceeds are donated towards Otter Sanctuaries. You have rhodonite, kunzite, and rose quartz there as well. It's a beautiful blend. And let me know what that is for you when it comes to that transmission. Let me know what it is that you may feel like is coming in, or do you feel oblivious to it? And like you have no idea? Until next time. Bye.